Right, hello, hello, hello. All right. Sorry, a little bit delayed start today. All right. So where are we standing right now? So pretty decent data that just came in at 8:30 this morning. Advanced GDP numbers a little bit lower than expected, but the unemployment claims number came in great. I'm actually a little surprised by that number. I did expect it to be a little bit higher with everything we've heard, but overall that's not bad. 230 is decent. Advanced GDP price index again, not kind of what we want to see, although again, this is one of those ones where the forecast was off, but there also had to be an adjustment over what we had last time, right? It was originally 3.5 to 3.7, is what the forecast was. It didn't, that was actually wrong. It came in higher and then again just went up just a little bit of a tad. So it's green, but I don't think it's as bad as what the overall expectation was. So that wasn't too bad. Um, as you can see, based off the movement, pound yen, 48, it's all right. Um, Aussie dollar, pretty flat. Dollar CAD, pretty flat. Dollar Swiss up pretty decently, 98. That's a good move. It's the biggest mover on the board right now. Dollar yen also up 94. You're seeing that the euro and the pound are both retracing back from what we saw yesterday. We talked about that as well as the euro pound down 33. We talked about how that was also high uses as a proxy, and you're seeing these kind of reverse and roll back to the downside. So that was kind of the overall trend of what we were talking about and what we were looking for. Um, okay. Um, all right. So that's kind of where we're standing. Now, what we have coming in next, pending home sales, not necessarily the biggest thing out there. 7:30 p.m. tonight, we're gonna get the core CPI for Tokyo. It's supposed to come in as exactly what it was last time. Not too much change in the three is nothing, too earth-shatteringly different. So again, not super concerned about that. What I care about is the monetary policy report tonight. Again, monetary policy, not the biggest deal in the world. Why? We know that Tokyo and Japan have basically said that, hey, we're not changing too much. The BOJ has been pretty clear. We got the new guy. We're not deviating too much from where we are, and we'll just roll right from there. All right. Tomorrow. Tomorrow we do have a lot of news out there. Predominantly this core PCE price index. Okay. Now again, this is the preferred method. This is the preferred gauge of what the Fed is looking at. Again, CPI is what they kind of it's there, but that's more of the overall markets. Core PCE is really what the Fed looks at. So if you look in the morning, we had the Germany preliminary CPI on a monthly basis, and it's still positive. And you may say, well, it's less than what it was previously. Yeah, but point 0.6 is a little bit more of a raise than you want. If things are slowing, point 0.6 is still kind of pretty high. So again, we will get that data. We'll get the BOJ. We're going to get Spain, which again, not necessarily the biggest thing, but on a yearly basis. It was previously 3.3. This is showing an increase on a yearly basis, which is kind of odd for a lot of people to be able to see that right now. Not moving in the right direction, but again, remember Spain is kind of wrapped into kind of the overall policy. We are going to get the SNB chairman Jordan speaking tomorrow morning early, and again, that will change this dollar Swiss trade around a little bit. And then obviously the employment cost and core PCE. This being exactly the same. I'm kind of looking at this as a dollar strength based move, but we need to see what happens in the next 24 hours with it, like the pre-positioning of it. But for me, it's supposed to be slowing down, right? Meaning slowing means that this number would be lower, right? If we really have a control on a monthly basis, we shouldn't be moving at the same speed they were moving with all the rises. This should drop down to a point two or maybe like a point one. It should be lowering, not staying exactly the same in my eyes, right? Because if it's not changing anymore on a monthly basis, that means we haven't done enough, right? Because remember, last month what we were dealing with, bank failures, right? Well, we don't really have the bank failures like we had last month, right? When this data is coming out. So yeah, then we have Chicago PMI again, it's likely to be low, and then obviously revised consumer sentiment. It's revised. It's not going to necessarily be a big thing heading into the weekend. All right. In the overnight, anything major out here? Stop. You go sit in the other room. Um, Not really. OPEC chief, the flex blame for oil price volatility in the IEA. Um, I don't think he's necessarily wrong, right? Right. Um, I think a lot of this is gone back and forth with, are we letting politics go into oil? Is Russia still able to sell everything that they want to sell? Sure, we have. We haven't stopped Russia from being able to sell oil. Um, Again, weaponizing the dollar and trying to blame this, and I think there's better ways to handle it. So again, OPEC had absolutely almost no power left, and now they've been given all the power back again by specific policies of the U.S. So again, you know, you can say deflect that they're saying, "Hey, listen, it's all on them." But at the end of the day, when OPEC had no power, right? They had no control, no power. Um, it didn't matter really what they said, right? It was driven more by other factors. But now they're back in the hot seat again, and they get to determine where things are. And again, that power has been passed back and forth. And yeah, I think that's where the blame really needs to be put. Besides that, and again, that was only considered a yellow. Not much, right? Not much else out there. It's going to read oil and oil products. Yeah, meant for Europe to Asia. Yeah, that's we all knew that. That's not new. They actually mentioned this yesterday, right? So again, are we stopping them from making money off oil? No. By creating price caps and putting more stress on the non-Russian oil, has that risen oil prices? Yes. Does that help Russia? Yep. Yep. It absolutely does. So yeah, it shows you kind of it's kind of like the war on drugs, right? Did it stop drug flow from coming? No, it did the exact opposite. So yeah, look at this dollar split about to hit 100. So that's what we got in the overnight. Looking at the VIX right now, you can see the VIX is down pretty nicely right now, down 4%. We were sitting in this upper channel, and again, yesterday we had the big pop move, pop move. Yesterday we ended up taking a big draw down. It's funny, it looks like it found buyers, but that's not really how the VIX works. Pop straight back up again, right into sellers, and then we had the gap down in the draw. So right now, where we are, we have the dollar popping from that news. And overall, if you look at today's data, what we actually have, the price index going higher, yes, it's not as much, but it is a double green. Unemployment being down shows, hey, listen, we're not killing the economy. We're not forcing a recession right now. The GDP thing, again, not kind of what we want, right? We're getting closer to that stagflation thing there. Um, GDP lowering like that is kind of like, we don't love that. And then being negative last time. But overall, again, this is in the past. This is kind of looking at the future. What are we looking at? This is kind of moving. Yeah, that's a dollar strength based thing, right? Price indexes. And then unemployment, not as bad as what we thought. Again, I assumed it would be higher, like 300. Coming at 230, that's great. As long as there's not a major revision next month. So overall, these are two kind of ingredients into the Fed saying, hey, yes, continue to raise, continue dollar strength. So this popping, exactly what it should be doing right now. Now the indices are all in the green, right now. NQ in there pretty decently. And again, a lot of that is Apple right now being up 138. So that's overall decent. Tesla's up a little bit. ES breaking above 4,000. That's great. We're above 4,000, 1,300, above 33, and getting close to that 17. If Russell is a little flat, I think Russell's the most sensitive to anything with dollar strength. It's like, oh God, they're going to raise interest rates. Russell's like, I don't like that. Not a fan, right? It's only up 0.1, 0.09 right now. So again, it needs to be above 1,800 to really be in the surge mode like everybody else. Commodities. Commodities, for the most part, I would say are down. Natural gas is up again, 2.3. Crude oil back up at below 75. It's up 0.26, not as bad as I think it could have been. Again, we're seeing these prices come down from the 80s, but I'm not seeing the price at the pump go down. Again, it was still 341 yesterday. I want it back down to like 310. I'm looking for 310. Gold though is down, right? Because of this news, this dollar strength. It's kind of like, yep, Fed's not taking their foot off. We're back down to that 1776 number. We mentioned that those were targets. And again, yesterday we were flirting just above 25. You can see down 1.25% down at 2450 ish level, right? Um, again, making that push back down. With this rallying the way that it is today, it's like, wow, you know, we were looking for it to kind of be low so we could really kind of take advantage of the PCE tomorrow. Question is, if we get another big news with PCE, could we be back up into the 22 or the 102.50-ish range? Could we get all the way back up to here? A big push. I'm assuming there'll be a little bit of a pullback, but can we go to 101.80 up to this really 102.40, 102.50-ish range, right? 102 is 80 cents higher. That's not a big deal, especially with something like core PC and how important it is. Aussie dollar. All right, so Aussie dollar yesterday, we talked about getting some bounces, you can see. We had this kind of double bottom here. We're like, it's all right. It ended up coming back down and using that level again at 2:30 in the afternoon, and then it rallied all the way back up. So had you played the reversal off this 66, and again, 66, very important number, it hit here. Even if you got in, you took a little bit of heat, but you never got stopped out and went all the way up and stopped you back out again. Had you taken the top side, again, same thing. Now you could have redone this one. If you didn't like this because it went deep, once you saw something along these lines right here, stop, please. Okay. this is what you're looking at with the new kind of piece of it. And there you go. There's your touch base off of news this morning, right? Again, news based trade. We saw this yesterday morning with a couple different trades, right? What did you sit in? Did you spill water everywhere? You did spill water everywhere. Okay, here, just watch. Come on, sit like this. Just watch Miss Rachel. All right. Let's pop this bigger for him. All right. So there was a new trade in there for news, and again, pretty standard. It was a level that we came through a few times, but looking at this level, I mean, I guess you could have taken it really narrow there, but for the most part, you wanted to take it off that. It wasn't very big, right? You're talking about 9 pips, right? A 9 pip drop, and I think we're officially at the other side. Let me see. Pretty sure we are because it's a little bit of adjustment from that one. 1 to 3 is right there. Yeah, we are officially out. It needed this candle just a little while ago. So again, nice little news based trade. Again, we're still bouncing through those levels. Is this a reversal time here? It has been hit 3 times in near succession, right? One, two, three. This would be hit number 4. It did base in there a little bit, so I'd expect it to go a little bit lower. Yesterday we marked off 65, 68, and 65, 52 is next two big levels down here where we're starting to look for reversals. I'm good with that one. I think that one comes down. Um, with it just completing right now, this is always the hardest because we're not playing reversals. If you're still tracking it lower, I think you're okay. Probably a little bit of a hiccup, but for the most part, again, make sure your profit is locked in. But overall, absolutely 100%. This is exactly what it should have done. Had you not taken this one, because again, we were just taking the profit target from that initial short, again, easy news based trade right here, right? Again, obviously a big downtrend, a pull back up. That's a downtrend setup we're looking for. The fact that we had a decent one top base here with descending candles coming in at right around the European Open, and then we had pushed up in the time right beforehand, before news. We knew we had news, so we knew we had a hot button at 8:30. Nice little, again, quick pop up, run to the downside. You're out on your 1 to 3. So again, officially out. Um, Aussie yen. So Aussie yen, also kind of a similar area. Again, this is obviously not necessarily dollar based. It did have that failure to go higher. We were looking for this really to push down, and it pushed to 10, kind of pulled back again, and then now it's just stabilizing between these two levels. I think it's important to note that yes, there is a level in here again, kind of set up conservatively, probably set up there. It hasn't hit it again, but if it goes much, much higher, I do think that there's probably a bit of a reversal level in there. It's okay. This is an old kind of, this was an old level we were looking for this Harry Potter. And again, taking the new basing is where we kind of had to draw this again, right? We're using there because that's where the punch is for the green candle, right? The basing level. Um, it hasn't it hasn't pushed very deeply in here or here. So yeah, I think it's probably got something up there. Do I want to use that level again? I think the risk is a little bit high on that one to take it again. But I'm not opposed to that turning and rolling back to the downside. Really, the next thing I got clear is I want to wait for this to come all the way down. But again, one through here, those two shorts, both profit targets that fully hit. It's just we got to step, 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 step all the way down. So it's really I'm looking for this down below. If you wanted to run this fib to see if we're going to get any help in there, Eh, obviously the 23 didn't even slow it down. It didn't even no, stop hitting buttons. It didn't even remotely slow it down. It just popped all the way through. But if you look at the 50, I think the 89, maybe we look for another zone up here again. It's got quite a bit to run for that though. I mean, it's got 80 pips. It's only got a 95 pip ATR. So again, is it going to be in play tomorrow for the core PCE? Yeah. If I had to draw this one, I would probably do it somewhere along those lines. Somewhere along there, you know? Yeah, somewhere up there. How much is it? 15. It's an all right level. I think if we're able to rally up there, I think you can look for something in there. Again, show a little bit of caution with it, but I do think there's a nice little pop. The fact that it's a 50 will help add and make this zone a little bit better. Maybe we run the zone there. How much is that? It's 11. Much better. Much better right there. Um, Looking at that along those lines. Okay. Um, Okay. Euro dollar. Okay. Euro dollar, pretty simple. Again, this actually drove down, but if you look at the candle right before the 8 o'clock candle was driving it back up again. I'll remove this just so we can see it. Everybody knows where it came in at. This kind of had the same thing that we saw on the Aussie, right? You had a little bit of a level up there confirmed. When we drove all the way down, it's like, wait a second, can we get back up there? There's the trade. It came back down. And now what are we doing? Sitting right on the 110, almost 110 exactly, right? 110,001. So not necessarily surprising. Again, I think it was a decent pullback, right? A little confirmation touch as we pulled farther down. What do you want? No, you can't have coffee. You cannot have coffee. Wait till that is done. Um, right now, what do you do with it? I think it probably be bases. A little bit of reversal coming back again. 110 is such a monstrous number in there. There's not really any buying or selling down there, but 110 will act as that. Also, if you see if we you kind of drink this up, you see the 23 sixes in there. People will look for a continuation, but the reality is the data today was such strong U.S. dollar. Could we see reversal from it? Yeah, but there's really no supporting thing besides a magical number here and a big number over here. So, you know, two psychological factors of why this would turn and maybe a 1030, but I want proof, right? I want proof. I want something like this where I know that there's proof in there of that type of short. Um, here's where we talked about it yesterday too, right? If we drop down on the 5 minute, we were talking about catching this one in here, right? That same type of fare to go lower, and right here is where we were. We ended up pushing through all the way at 1045. So there was the draw that we put on. If you guys were looking for aggressive yesterday, um, the reason I'm bringing it up is because I'm going to steal it, take it. I'm going to take this and just drag it over here since it's already drawn. And it's about the same. 11 for 33. You can see how quick that one hit. So again, two news trades were out now. Again, reversals, profit taking come in. Absolutely. Is it a zone I want to reverse from? No, no interest. I think for tomorrow, again, look to see what happens. Look to see where the movement is. We will probably get something very, very similar in the European session, right? Can it push all the way back up to the top? Maybe. Maybe. That's quite a reversal. That'd be about 95 pips. It's got an 85 pip daily ATR. That's kind of a lot. Um, does it push down? It could. There's some buying in here, but I really want to see what happens in the overnight. I think the best way to play the euro dollar right now, because again, we did just get out. Yeah, there's a long. I got no buying in here, but for the most part, I really want to see what happens from nine to, really 9 to 3, right? 9 to 3 tonight is again, where is it set for in the European session? What's the set for the initial push, and then again the retracement through. So I think this is a great one to play tomorrow, particularly with what we're seeing with the euro dollar or the euro pound. So euro pound, we talked about this one yesterday, also being high. We're sitting right up in here, and we said, hey, listen, we're back up at that zone now. Look for this to go short, and you can see at 10 o'clock it did. It kind of based out, and then right here at 5:30 in the morning, we ended up hitting it again and drove it all the way back down to the 50%. So we were calling for this yesterday. We got it one push, retracement back up again, and then again European reversal straight down, even bigger push. Again, it's just being high on the curve, but you can see that level's holding really well. It looks like it's a gigantic move. We're only talking about 30 pips from here down. Remember, this is acting. It's really more. Again, if I stretch it out, I can make it look really exciting. It's really more like this is what it's doing, right? It's more sideways and it's more a proxy, but that's why that euro dollar trade was a really nice trade. Euro yen. All right, so euro yen. You can see yesterday morning. Actually, that was Tuesday, so let's pull this off now. This is out. Let's pull all these. Just clean this all up again. The 78 went through. It pushed through, so let's take that one off. Let's run top to bottom. All right. So yesterday we were sitting right in here. Right, 1030 is right here. So it's just basically chopping sideways. It hasn't gone top or bottom. We're gonna pull that base off. We know that 149 is there. That's not a great zone up top. 147 is below. I'm gonna put it here. Ooh, 23. It's a little bit much. Yeah. So bracketing this out again. We know what we got high side. We know we got buyers. We know we have at least two confirmations, but didn't push. we're skirting right down the middle. So right now, this is not considered trending at all. Look, 0.00. You don't see that often, but 0.00. Um, I'd say even on a more refined level, again, look at the sellers really kind of there and really kind of there, right? Even boxing that one in even a little bit more. And again, we're sitting right in the middle of those two. Yeah, 37 top and bottom. And then 95, 105, a little bit farther from the bottom there, but yeah, until we clear one of these two sides, and again, I don't really care about the clear here at the 78.6. And again, the bottom side's backstopped. We need more trend. We need more trend in this one right now. I think look for one of the two extremes either direction. None of the news. That shouldn't do too much. The German preliminary CPI data that may actually move this one around a little bit. We may be able to get a little bit of a pop. Um, we'll probably get something out of this one, but I just don't like any of the setups on this one. Again, too much sideways movement, too much bracketing in. It just there's not enough clean there. Pound dollar. This one was unfortunate. We talked about this one yesterday. You can see at 8:30 it came up. It tried. It tried really, really hard to get up there. It missed it by 2 pips, right? Missed it by 2 pips, and then turn and reverse exactly where it should have. So right now, again, the euro dollar was the one to take. That was the easiest one. This one didn't really have the same setup. Actually, at 8 o'clock, it actually did go above. So yeah, that was the right setup. Um, it was right there, 125. Actually, did it go as high? No, 124,994. So yeah, the 125 would have been a nice one too, right there. Yeah. So eh, I'd say this one is similar. Nice little news trade setup where we are right now. I'm not super interested. Yes, it's flirting with the 61.8. There's a little bit over here, but not enough for me to be interested in it. I like the 71.8, the 78 level better, but again, I'm not trading off the 78. So right now, I think that the most important thing to do would be to kind of bracket this bottom and say, hey, listen, there's our top and bottom. We're sitting in the middle. We need to push one of the two sides. Again, knowing that 125 is there is extremely important. In this downside, you can see is kind of funny. It's the exact opposite. So we're flirting right in the middle. Okay. I think 125, 124, the two that we're looking for either direction, buy and sell for tomorrow. And again, this will be a pretty good one to trade tomorrow morning. Again, the core PCE. We'll get a proxy from the euro pound to see which one is strong or weak at that time. Um, right now, with the dollar push today, I'm sorry, the pound push today, we may get that pound weakness tomorrow, which would be something to trade into the dollar. So that one's not bad. Pound yen, again, there's the, we talked about this yesterday, the 61.8 being there. It ended up it missed it there and then ended up grabbing it. It did push back down. This one, it hit it, what, 4:30? Yeah, 4:30, 5 o'clock. So just missed the true reversal time there just by a little bit. And there's your 1 to 3 right there. Okay. And what did it do? It went down to its profit target of basing and then pop right back up again. So, question is, do you take this again? I would say no. Right. The hit this morning was actually number 4. This is a front run on it. But right now you're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is 5. Right. Yeah, it's a 61.8. There was a level there. And again, good trade, missed, good trade. But if you did get it, you still ended up getting out the 1 to 3. Problem is, how many more sellers are there up here? There's probably a little bit going on up in here at the 71.8. That was an old level. That was that old Harry Potter, right? The 1, 2, 3, the 4 touch, the base, the pullback, and the drop. Nice level, but we do know that there are some sellers up there, as well as we know we got something up top, another completed trade. So right now, again, I think that level up top is fine. I think we probably run into a hiccup sitting right in here somewhere, right? Um, hmm, hit a button. There we go. I think we probably hit up here 167. I don't like it for a short though. I think we wait till it gets back up to 167. And again, this one you can see it's breaking through. It's hit too many times, right? One, two, three, four, five. It's just yeah, not interested in reverse down again. But this was not bad because of the front run here. So 16 for 50. Again, you should be out at 6 o'clock this morning with another 50. So again, another good setup in the overnight. Dollar CAD. Still waiting for this Harry Potter to go through, and all we did was do what? Right? We are looking for a base and a pullback. We didn't get it. We hit it again. We hit it again. We hit it again. So still looking for this one to drop and come back to the downside. We're still looking for a profit target of 135.78. Not really an entry on there. You could have traded this, and again, there was one here. You could have said, "Hey, listen, we pushed away. There was a decent top on it. You could have traded that one, right?" And for news, sorry, it's there. I'm trying to use the bottom of these two candles. So it did tag it here for news this morning. You could have used this confirmation here and said, okay, I'm going to use this confirmation here, right? Here's your pop. There's your confirmation. These are both in the overnight. And there was your news spike down. So many shorts in this one for dollar weakness. But again, we still don't have that Harry Potter entry. I'm looking for really some true basing here, not just to pop through. Hopefully it doesn't just go all the way down, but the reality is it potentially could because, again, that's the backside of a trade. Okay. I actually wouldn't mind. Yeah. How far does that need to move? 36. Just your tongue buds. Icky, sticky, sticky, bubble gum. Um, I do like this 135. It's a decent level. It is a 23.6 pullback as well, so we may get some extra help in there. I don't know if we can go down and hold this line, but I think where news is down here, I think this could definitely be not only a target, but a potential reversal for tomorrow morning. It could also hit in the overnight. I'd like for it to base, pull back, and then kind of close down there before we get to the European session. What? Here, you want this? Um, no buds. It doesn't go, and it's not a power plug. I think keep this one on your radar. I'm okay with this one, just because again, 23 supported, easy to draw. Again, I'd like to take the short and reverse it down there, and especially with the news here, which is a news release, I do think we will get some dollar strength coming out of, especially if we see dollar weakness the rest of today. Um, so yeah, keep that on the radar in the overnight. Again, remember 8:30 tomorrow morning is when that PCE is coming in. I do feel that even at point 0.3, I feel like that shows more strength and weakness. Okay, dollar Swiss. Dollar Swiss is surging. Now, this is why we talk about being very, very careful with the multiple hits, right? You could say that this is arguably one or two, right? There's one, there's a front run, there's a hit again, and it pulled back and then started basing. Like, yep, this is going long. Nova level at the 61.8, you can see it drove right through. It is finding the sellers up here, and there is. I mean, I think we marked this off yesterday. There is obviously basing here, and there are some tests here as well as here. With the 78.6 level, I'm not a fan of this for currencies. I know commodities traders use it a lot. It is forming in a base, and again, with the pop that it's had, European market started here at 3 o'clock. It's up 72 pips. It's got a 70, I guess 71. It's 70.95. It has moved the daily ATR right now since the European Open, so we would expect to see this to turn and roll a little bit. But again, this was just one of those situations where we just hit this level too many times and it ran out of steam. So again, nice reversal from all this. Let's take all this off. Let's take this off. Let's take this off. Let's take this off. We will adjust this down just a bit. And again, we got that confirmation yesterday. We are at the 78, so I don't care about that now. Let's take this low to high. Right now, not super concerned. Yeah, actually, this 628 is not bad right there. But what'd you do? Which one? Which one? Pick one. This one? Um, so yeah, profit taking coming in. I don't think the trajectory changes on this one. But again, mark off this for news. Look to see what happens in the European session. Stop. We're not going to bang the keyboard. Um, I'd like to see what happens from there to there. Okay. Again, do we pull back? Sure. But what happens from here to here? I think is the two biggest. Right from there to there. Okay. Um. Again, it was a decent trade. Could have gotten long with that one. Again, we always talk about shorts because shorts are easy, but looking for a trend continuation long, look at the base right here and the touch. 430 came and touched it, and again right there for news. Nice little takeoff for news. So again, all this is the reversal because again, the dollar's in the first position right now versus the second pair that we saw in the Aussie as well as the euro. It's the same thing, right? It's this down, confirmation, news hit, right? Now the dollar's in the first position. The base, pull away, confirmation, and then boom, hit. So it's news just in the opposite direction. And again, 46 pips, you're out. You're done. We're at the top of it right now. So again, the profit taking is coming in. I'll put this on there just to show you guys as well. Right. Risk is what? 11, 10.9, right? What happens as soon as this hit 33 pips, right? 36 is right there. We started the base and had problems. See, this is why I like 10 for 30s because at 35, most of these have some problems with some profit taking, right? So again, 10, 11 pips risk, nice little news game. So two great news trades examples. Again, dollar in the second position, dollar in the first position. Okay. Let's see what we got here. So you can see, again, we talked about this yesterday. We were sitting right around here, and again, nice push down. 12:30 came up and missed. It ended up hitting at 4:30 this morning. Actually, I guess 5:30, right there. 5:30 is when it kind of hit. And again, we knew that this was a big deal, kind of coming back down again. But have we really changed trajectories? Not really. Not really. It's 82 pips high, turning red. But has it really left the area? Nah. This one went up, and actually, actually, it doesn't matter. That was not the grab anymore. I don't know if you guys can hear Old McDonald, but there's Old McDonald. So okay. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we'll pull that one off. This is where we're at. Now, this could be considered a parabolic move. Let's see how many we got in this one. Yeah, 94 pips. It's not a daily ATR, but a very, very fast sharp pull up. You can see that the 61, it kind of slowed it down a little bit, but it grabbed the supply zone. This is actually a decent supply zone above. I like the formation of a one candle base top like that with descending candles. That's pretty decent. This one would be a turn and roll, and again, being at 10 o'clock, I could see this one coming back. It makes sense, you know. Is it the highest quality? Nah, it'd be better if it was being bisected by the 61.8, but you'll still have some influence from 61.8 traders in there. The risk level on this one is 12, right? But understand, it is a parabolic move. It will take some time to kind of tear back to the downside. And again, you just literally got out of two trades, right? You literally just finished $2 base trades. This is another one that this is not quite a reversal, but between this, right, and this just goes back in for the reversal. Okay, is all that it is if you miss the other two. Okay, and it's the difference between taking a trade before news, right, setting and forgetting before versus responding to the after effect. Okay, is the only difference between those. Let's jump up to oil. All right, oil. So oil, we had this nice little news pop up, and again, it's probably I wouldn't be surprised. Let's see. We'll go from here down. Oh, it actually didn't go as far. I thought it was a little bit closer. I was actually originally I assumed that this was going to be the 50%, and that's kind of what it went off of. Right? Let's pull that base off. Again, these were the small news based trades. We talked about this one going much, much higher. Right? Here, take this. Bring it down so you guys can see it from yesterday. Right? Right? There's the news up, and then boom, all the way through. So that's what we are calling for, was that kind of push off this lower time frame. We mentioned once it hit here, it's like, yep, it's clearing it. It's clearing it out. And it went much, much farther. So nice little news trade from that yesterday. Go to the 30. All right, so target smash. We knew that yesterday. Looks like it's forming support there. Let me see what we got back. What are we dealing with? Yeah, it was a confirmed level. Not really a lot at the 23, but it doesn't mean that people won't use that 23. I was hoping the 23 would be up here around the 75, the 77.50, but it's a little bit low. I do agree with this bounce, right? I do agree with this bounce where it's at. Hmm. Yeah, buds, exactly. Whoops. Um, I think this one has the ability to go a bit higher. I mean, there's nothing really slowing this down. This is where your profit target would be, right? Retracing this whole thing. Obviously, we know that there's going to be some influence here at the 23.6 because again, it is oil, so you have people, futures traders using just purely something, something like fibs. Um, it's only got to move up what 25 cents. We're basically at 75 right now. It's going to 76.25, so going to be a psychological quarter number as well. I think watch out for this level right here, right? 76.25. Hopefully we can get some sellers though. Hopefully people see that data and looking at this as you know, an area for us to start, pushing lower, right? But we had a big down draw yesterday. Big down draw yesterday, so we should find some bottoms in here. And again, today's data, you may say, well, what does that have to do with anything today? I mean, again, seeing unemployment not as bad as what they thought means more people are working. The GDP thing is kind of like forward looking. Yeah, and the price index is kind of like forward looking. Pending home sales being much, much lower was probably a shock to a lot of people. But again, are pending home sales meaning that people are, it's affecting driving? No. Unemployment claims, does that affect driving? Yeah, a little bit. Um, so overall, I'd say there's more fundamental factors that go higher right now. I think we look for 76.25 today. Really, there's nothing in here that I can say, hey, listen, short. Um, so yeah, natural gas, natural gas, a little whippy, right? And again, a little bit of a thing yesterday, and we'll just continue that cross. That's what it ran into this morning. Nice little pop. Yesterday morning we were sitting where, right here, right? Yeah, we're sitting right here. So we knew we had a level there. That's what it hit, but I would say we haven't really changed trajectory too much. We were sitting right here. Um, there's your 10 o'clock candle right there. We are not even a penny off from where we were yesterday. Less than a penny off from where we were yesterday. So you can see 0.17. It needs to come much lower, right? It needs to drop much, much lower. Still looking for a push down to 225, but I don't think there's any catalyst today for it. So yeah, I'd say oil still bullish. I think yeah, I think I'm sorry, not 25 cents in this one. It was $1.25. I think this one continues to raise, and again, this one continues to fall. I just don't think there's anything in this. So, what about gold wise? Yeah, I mean, gold did exactly what it should. It drove up. It was holding there. Again, use the 2000 springboard off. So yeah, that's good too. I like that it found buyers there because that gives me three. Um, yeah. So what we're rooting for now is this is what we want to see. We want this to go back up again. We want this to go up and then base right here. That's what we're looking for tomorrow. And again, if we're sitting at the 2000 mark, that's what we're looking for. And it'd probably be something very, very fast. So yeah, this is doing. I'm happy with this. Again, dollar strength being put in. We should reverse back with profit taking. Let it chip through. We'll look to see what happens between the 3 a.m. mark and the 8:30 a.m. mark. And then again, as long as we are pushing up in that time frame, we look to take this one short back down. And again, target down here at 1974. Yeah, 1974. That range right there. Okay. Silver. So silver taking a nice little kind of whipsaw here, right? Silver was holding firm high, 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 high. News came out, bam, slammed through. We're looking for a Harry Potter, but guess what? Straight down, straight back up is not the entry we're looking for. So, still kind of waiting for this one to come down. Now, I am surprised if we push back. I'm okay with this coming back high though. As I said, if we get anywhere up in this range, I'm looking for the same response tomorrow. Again, if you even want to do a measured move on this one too, you can do it from wherever we are. Let's see. We know that Friday 8:30. Um, Wherever that news is, look for a push of wherever. Again, looking at something like that. Right. So if we're sitting at 25, It looks like we can get down to 24.40, right? Um, so, but right now, is there any trade in this one? No. It just really it's stuck too far right around that 25 mark. 25 is acting way too much. I am surprised when it came all the way to 25.50 though. We didn't hold a little bit longer down there. Um, but yeah, it's just pulling straight back up. So yeah. Apple and Tesla now both up 1.5. So it looks like NQ is NQ is rocking. Everybody's doing well as they should. I mean, that unemployment data today was pretty good. Um, I think everybody was really kind of expecting that to be higher with all the layoffs we're hearing about. But that number's pretty good. VIX obviously continuing. VIX going down makes complete sense. Dollar again, nice pop. We're seeing profit taking coming back again, right from that level. What do we got ES wise? Let us see. Um, um 8:30. Yeah. Unfortunately, no entry. You can see what happened here. 9:15. You see how it halted? I think it makes sense that it went higher. Right? I think they're still going to raise the interest rates, but I think that number was pretty good. And we knew we had a lot of drama up here, and that looks like what we're running into. But as far as opening print goes, look at this. We were literally between two sellers, buyers, and flat. So again, no opening print for it today. But I do agree. I think the unemployment number was much better than expected. I think that trumps everything. I don't think that this is the price index. I don't think surprises a lot of people. The advanced GDP. I think everybody's calling for that based off of earnings anyway. But I think the unemployment was the big surprise today, which again shows that we're not as bad off with all the layoffs as they originally thought. NQ NQ spiking again using that 13,000. What do we got here? What do we got? Again 8:30 held 9:15 9:30. Yeah, again with the spike up at this number right here, this 9:30 spike. Again, would not have been looking to short this one. It would have been more of a long, but there's no confirmed zone until you go all the way down to here in the overnight. It was confirmed at about 8:30 this morning, so it was confirmed. It was hiding right behind the 13,000. It just didn't pull back enough to that one, so you would not have got an entry for this one. But I do agree with the long on this one. Makes complete sense, and I know a lot of this has to do with Apple as well. YM. So this one pulled all the way down. Yeah, here's your European Open. There's kind of your touch of the European Open. I don't know if that triggers or whatever at 9:30. It's close. Um, yeah, trying to use the confirmation touches. I don't think it actually enters. Look, there's a space in there. Yeah, I don't think you get entry on that one. I mean that's where you want to pull the trigger. And there's 1 to 3. So if you got an entry on that one, you were in, but I think you missed it by a smidge. I think you missed it by a smidge. But again, the 9 9:15 were both red. You were looking for long opportunities. There's the base in the overnight with the confirmation touches coming in at 5:30. I think you missed it by a smidge, just a bit outside. Yeah. So now reversals, it is actually in a level right now where you would look and say, hey, listen, there's some reversals up there. So it does make sense. Does that turn it for the day? Maybe as the narrative switches, but again, being 10:20, it's reversal time. We just got out of a 1 to 3 long profit target from the open. Everybody that sees this breaking over this high too, this is a trap. There's a trap. Oh God, we broke through new highs. Everybody go long, go long, go long. We broke the overnight high. It's also a short signal. Okay, so short signal into a confirmed bit at 10:30. I would say that yeah, if it's going to reverse for the day, this would be the area that it does it. And again, the narrative may change, right? Unemployment claims are awesome, but wait a second, look at this. This was a double double advanced GDP price index, right? What is the price index? The change in prices of goods and services, right, including the GDP. That's not 2. They expected to be 3.7. It's 4, so higher than expected, over double what the inflation rate is supposed to be. It's technically a sign to raise interest rates, right? It's not working. If it's accelerating a bond beyond forecast, it means they need to do more. And that's the narrative we're going to hear. Okay. Russell. Yeah, poor Russell. um Unfortunately, Russell, there is a pullback here, but it's very hard. This is a very, very big zone. I feel like that's the zone that you would have to use, right? And use this kind of 3 o'clock test. To be able to grab this zone here, that's quite a large test on a zone. It did work for a long, but it's quite large. It's quite large. I think the better bet would have been saying, hey, listen, this is your overnight. Here's your test during the European session. And you just kind of missed it. I think that's really where you need to be. This is too, I mean, look at the difference. There's a standard one. That's what this would be. Way too much. Way too much based off the candle size. Top side. I guess you could have said, hey, listen, there was one from yesterday, and there was kind of a touch. Again, it makes sense why I turned there. 9:30 just missed it. Eh. The 9:30 would have been the confirmation from it. So, I understand why it turned there. Am I looking at that saying, hey, listen, everybody should have taken that one? Not so much, but there would have been some aggressive people taking it. Let's see. Would there have been fib support in there? Yeah, there would have been because it's a 61.8, right? It would have been a 61.8 trade. So yeah, I guess there's an argument made for that one. Not opening print. Opening print would have been back here. So I'm not gonna dive too much into it. But yeah, could you have traded that one short off a 61.8 entry at 10 o'clock? Yeah, yeah, yeah. That could have definitely been one. And I think you shrink this one. Just go right to the line. Made that a little smaller. Okay, so you could have taken that one. That's it for today. Like I said, we don't have decreased. Oh, here we go. It's finally moved above the SMA. Yeah, I mean, this is a very big one. This core PC is a very, very big release. The Fed is absolutely looking at it. Day to day justifies that one to be more aggressive. And again, seeing this hold at 3.3. I mean, yeah, I guess the actual coming down last time. Like, what happens if they were wrong? What if there's an adjustment to point 0.4 where this one comes in at 0.4 again? I think that's dangerous. But um, again, it should be dropping if it holds. I feel like that's dangerous. Or what if it comes in at a 0.4 showing an acceleration? I feel like that leads us to a red day, strong dollar movement. And that's just what I'm feeling right now. Could I be totally wrong? Sure. But that's, again, why we're looking at what happens in the overnight in the dollar, right? Again, we didn't draw on the dollar, but looking at the Friday, 3 to 8:30. That window right there. I want to see what happens. Okay. All right. That's it for today. Let's go ahead and do our drawing. We got our usual suspects. We are missing one, right? We are missing one. Okay, I'm going to give this one till 2:30 because that's when I said that I would shut it down. I give 30 seconds to get in there. Do the music, right? Cue the music. See, was there another? Oh, stop hitting the button. Let's see if that was the other article. Yen weakness again. All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Boom, pulling it. All right, winner of today's drawing is Debbie's like, this is why I don't do 3. Debbie, you should have done more than that. Debbie, you should have gone in with at least 5. You were going for a triple today, Debbie. So you risked 20 to make 200 and something. It's a little bit risky, right? You should have went in with a little bit more. Today, Ernest got you with that single one in there, right? Again, Neuro has that ebook on how to win pip chips. But Neuro was not even here today, so today was your day. So we're gonna give Ernest his Ernest took it on the cheap today. I'm gonna tell you right now, Ernest doesn't normally take them on the cheap. Ernest is not the luckiest individual, right? Not the luckiest of people. Well, that was because I took him out. He got pumped out. But yeah, not the luckiest of people, but he took it with less pip chips. So well played, sir. Well played. All right. That's it for today. As I said, this core PC is a big number. A lot of eyes are going to be looking at it. There's going to be a lot of talk about it. Be ready for it. Look to see what happens in the overnight. Last night we had a lot of trades that took off in the overnight. And a lot of it completed today. Super easy news release day. So many opportunities off news today. Like super easy. Again, Euro dollar, dollar Swiss, both just textbook setups. So with that, I'm out of here. I'll catch you guys tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern time. I better be seeing some profit across the board tomorrow morning. And with that, I'm out of here. Have a good one, guys. I'll see you then.